Good morning.
So we wanted to chat about reactivating that you had talked about that was working really well. And then Priscilla did a download of the house chat leads. You could either share with you, it's basically name, phone number, email. We could just almost send that text that you were saying that really worked well. Hey, we had talked to you at one point about buying or selling. Are you still in the market? What are you looking for? And see if we get any play.
Yeah, what I'm going to go ahead and do is make you guys a folder like we did Jerome here in your guys' account. So create folder. We'll name it custom partner workflows. Ryan, create, and then any custom stuff that we create for you guys, we'll throw in this folder here. And so we'll go ahead and create workflow. I'll just do this here kind of for you guys live. So Jerome, we have dead transfer reactivate. So tag dead live transfer. What this is going to do, Brian, is if you tag a lead dead live transfer at like midnight, let's say you're going through your leads, or Priscilla, you're going through the leads and you tag it at midnight, it'll wait till the next morning business hours, just so you don't have to be worried about making sure you're doing it during business hours. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Name, it's Brian with Real Estate. We had a good conversation not too long ago about that property you were searching for, price, time frame, features, type of property. Is this still accurate? I've got some properties I could send over, save. Then basically what we want to do is wait one day and see, hey, have they responded to this message? So wait one day for contact replies. We want to send you guys a notification that this person replied, so you guys can instantly go reach out to them.
Cool.
So if they reply, we're going to send you guys an internal notification via text. Is that probably the best channel to notify you guys about that?
I think so. And is there a way to tag both Priscilla and I on so we both get it in case I miss it? She's really good about reminding me of stuff I miss.
Yep. Yeah. So I selected both you guys right there, Priscilla and Brian, as users, so you guys will both get this same text.
Perfect.
And then it'll basically say dead live transfer reactivate reply. It'll give you the lead details. It'll actually give you the reply that the lead sent, because let's say they reply, but it's like stop, right? You don't need to like go out of your way or stop what you're doing in your day to go reach out to that person if they say like stop, for example. So we'll put the reply here because it'll give you kind of a check on what this person's even saying in the first place. I'm logging into the CRM to get back to them ASAP, or the mobile app is fine. So that's if they do reply. We want to noti team. That'd be you guys. If it times out, we want to send SMS number 2, which is going to be contact first name question mark. Let me know first name. These properties probably won't be on market much longer, and I want to make sure you're in the know. That's number 3. Save action. Wait one day for reply. Ready to publish. Okay, so now what you guys can do is tag a lead dead live transfer. So honestly, Priscilla, like you can, or Brian, you guys can like even go in right now and go do that. The best way to do that is going to be to go to your dashboard and come in to the live transfers initiated. Go ahead and sort by, honestly, you can come in here and sort by like when we partnered up. I think it was maybe if you go the 1st of September, it should give you the entire time frame, if I'm not mistaken. You can confirm that, which realistically, we can even potentially come in here and update this, because I think it's a little more than that. But since we updated we made this update like halfway through our partnership, I want to say like December, January area. Anything before that, I don't know if it would be tracking. I'll make sure to actually update that. Let's see if I can actually just make sure we do that now. Hide live transfer. Because I have to update it. I can do that later then. But what I want to do is just make sure that all these live transfers are updated in the system. So other than that, you guys can just come into contacts. Priscilla, I think you know how to do this super well. Brian, also, you guys can just come into tag is live transfer and the contacts as well, and then just go through those, and then any of them that you're like, okay, clearly we're not in touch with this person. So what you can also do is this last activity section, just click this and sort by oldest to most recent. So we can see all of these live transfers in here, which you guys could have reached out to these personally at some point or somewhere. But if you guys just want to go off the CRM, we can see like Sherry to Shay, looks like at least in the conversations tab has never been contacted. And then some of these also 2 months to 1 month. Again, you could have called these like Priscilla, your Google number or something along those lines. So if you guys have another spot where you're tracking conversation history, just go double check that. But what you guys can do is you can select like this entire page, for example. You can even sort by page size, like 50. But if you sort by page size 20, you can select all those, go to the next page, and honestly, like select all of these, even the ones that we haven't been in touch with for like a week. And then what you can do is you can add a tag. So add tags, and this is where you could do that dead live transfer tag. And that's what we'll start. So right here, dead live transfer. Make sure we don't get it like confused with dead or dead lead or dead leads. Dead live transfer, and then that's the one that'll activate that sequence. So let me just go ahead and make sure that you guys have access to actually do that. So permissions, contacts. So you should have view and manage bulk actions. Yeah, that should be good. Priscilla, can you confirm, or Brian on your end, that you guys have like the bulk add tags option on the contacts?
Yes, give me a second.
Yeah, just let me know because I want to make sure you guys can.
And then as she's looking at that, Mason, those house jet leads, we can just import those. She's got it on an Excel spreadsheet. We can import them into your GoHighLevel, and we can tag them as well, since we have separate folders. Like we have some Instagram leads, which I have no idea how they came, but we went ahead and put them into GoHighLevel, and there's only like 10 maybe. And they didn't respond.
Yeah.
Maybe they responded to a post, but they didn't say anything like I'm looking or anything like that. And they've been obviously difficult to chase. So I don't know, but we can do that with these as well that are in GoHighLevel and some of the other folders that Priscilla's put together, and just do what you said. Just do that bulk mail of live transfer.
Yeah, absolutely. With the system is pretty cool. And, when Priscilla was doing with the AI stuff, she should have a fundamental good understanding of creating automations. Like that automation I just created took me, 5 minutes or so. Maybe it'd take a little longer just because I've done a lot of them. But you can go in and we can really do any bulk automation you want. If you already know what you kind of want it to do, then I can create it right now. The biggest thing with like the reactivation sequences is usually making them like super tailored, and then leading with like a value first approach. So like for our live transfer leads, I know that we have collected price point, time frame, location. So I leverage that in the text saying you were looking for this around this price range in this area. Is this still accurate? We got some properties love to send over. So leading with a value first approach, not a are you still looking question mark, because it leaves it unanswered of like, oh, they're only asking me because they want me to respond to this text, not because they actually have my goodwill in mind. So when you end with, I would love to send you some, I have some properties I can send over. It's like, oh, they're reaching out to me in my best interest because they have something that could help me. So any way that you could do this, something same with like house jet leads is like, hey, if you know they're coming in through Facebook, we could have a lead reactivation sequence and a live transfer reactivation sequence, if that makes sense. So you would have, okay, if I have details on them, I hit them with the live transfer sequence. If it's just a cold lead, we can hit them with like a lead reactivation sequence, and you can have like two separate automations for one that you have like a lot of information on and one that we have maybe like less information on.
Yes. And those house jet ones, Priscilla, would you agree? Those we have hardly anything on information. And
Yeah,
really,
we don't.
I don't even know if they're legit or not. They may just be smoke and mirrors of, look, we got all these leads, and we scheduled these 4. Because
Yeah.
I think Priscilla's even said, even when we've tried to call them, they don't answer, numbers disconnected. It's like, okay. So, but anyway, that's great information. What about putting into again, that value proposition. Hey, what if I could offer you free down payment assistance? Because there's some grants in Oklahoma that are super easy to do, or excuse me, they're very difficult to get unless you know a lender that can help you get them. And I've got a couple, but it's certainly, that's really, Priscilla, would you say really piqued some people's interest on when we've recircled back about, hey, there may be grants available to help with down payment assistance? But I think, as you've said, Mason, many times, it's what's the hook? And to me, the hook is, what if I had properties that provided you free down payment assistance?
Yeah, that I think, yeah, because that's such an irresistible, offer, and it's very like catching. And you can also even lead with a very soft CTA, or like call to action, in the sense of, do you have a form like we were talking about that your lender gave you, or is it that lady you're talking about, or is that how you
We
can
could
do it?
ask, we could get a form from them.
That would be good, or you can just have a call to action. Hey, contact name. You could qualify for a new down payment assistant program that just launched in OKC. Just reply interested, and I'll send you a form to see if you qualify, or reply yes or something, or is that something you would want more information on? You could definitely do something like that. I think it would honestly make sense to even put that in like the dead transfer reactivate sequence as like a
Yes.
follow-up. So we could have the first SMS goes out and is like, hey, it's Brian, we had a good conversation, you were looking for this follow up. And then the third follow-up is, let me know these properties probably won't be on market much longer. I want to make sure you're in the know. Somewhere we could either do it as a second text or the third text, or even like the fourth text where we put that in there. I'm just trying to think about when it would make the most sense. We could even do, let me know first name, these properties probably won't be on market much longer, and I want to make sure you're in the know. We can honestly do a text that's like, also, by the way, there's a new down payment assistance program in OKC. Let me know if you might be interested in that also, or something along those lines. We could send it kind of at the same time as like a double text.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, let's try that.
Maybe tell me what you think, both of you. Just kind of throwing a spitball. Also, there are some incredible down payment assistant programs that offer free money. Would you be interested? And they're really not, and so I'm transparent with you, Mason, they're really not free. Obviously, there's stipulations with them, and really, it's all they're doing is the state's giving them money to buy a home, but they're just tagging it on to the end of the loan. So whether they sell and I think you have to be there for 5 or 10 years, you can't rent it, but it's really for people. It's trying to safeguard people from taking advantage of it, right? So hey, and I've had a couple of your leads that you guys have you've given me, and I've talked to them, and basically the way I've worded it, and obviously we don't want to be too wordy on this, but I've said, look, here's all that you do not need to have to pay it back unless you sell the house. And if you sell the house in 20 or 30 years, this 12 to 15 grand is going to mean absolutely nothing because you have so much equity in your home, but it's got you in the home when you needed it the most. So, but again, I like the tag of free money because that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, it just makes it super easy for the consumer to digest, because it's just like, instead of getting all in the nitty gritty, like that could potentially get you free money. Like, it's very simple.
And especially this 3,000 database of renters that we continue to kind of pop information to, and some have got, and again, Priscilla sent them about the grants, and so many of them have responded back in a text, tell me more. So this may be a good one for us, Priscilla, with weeding out that rental list, as well as some of the other ones that we've been looking at.
What do you think the text, like the pitch text, should be in regards to just your real estate knowledge? So we send that follow-up text, which is, let me know first name, these properties won't be on the market much longer. I want to make sure you're in the know. The system's going to wait 6 seconds and say also ... it's going to wait 12 seconds and then send the pitch, that, offer text, which can basically.
Also, the state of Oklahoma is offering free, and I may need to reword this once we type it. The state of Oklahoma has grants. Maybe we say that has grants.
Also, the state of Oklahoma.
I would say has grant offering free, and maybe free is big cap. Free, allowing down payment assistance.
The state of Oklahoma has grants offering free
For down payment.
I think what would do really well, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but what if you do, the state of Oklahoma has grants, it's it's basically just down payment assistance, right?
Yes.
Offering down
payment allowances, not assistance, maybe allowances.
You could even just kind of,
sometimes sounds a little insulting, right?
Yeah, I can agree. The state of Oklahoma has grants offering down payment allowances. Oklahoma has grants offering down
to find your beautiful new home, or to get you in a beautiful new home.
The state of Oklahoma has grants offering down payment allowances, free money basically you're searching for. And then we could do another wait step, and that'll be is that something that you might be interested in? Is that something that could potentially help you out, or something like that?
Would you like to know more info about that?
6 seconds. I capitalize will make it seem like it's real. Would you like? Okay, boom. So we can see if we want to disconnect these two and make them separate, or if we think it's good to just provide a bunch of value in one kind of big long thread. But basically we're hitting them with the first text. We go out, you guys tag them dead live transfer. It's going to wait for business hours. So if you tag them on a Sunday, it's going to wait Monday 10 a.m. So you guys can tag these leads whenever you want. You don't have to be worried about them getting text out of business hours. SMS 1 will go out, hey, contact first name, it's Brian with Salt Real Estate. We had a good conversation not too long ago about that property you were searching for, price, location, time frame, features. Is this still accurate? I got some properties I could send over, just let me know. It waits 1 day to see do they reply or do they not. If they do reply, it's going to notify you guys instantly. So it's not going to notify you guys after 1 day that they reply. It's going to notify you instantly as soon as they reply. So as soon as if they reply, you guys will get a notification saying dead live transfer, reactivate, reply, the lead details, and then their reply to the reactivation message. So you guys can go right in and just start spark a conversation with them. If they time out after 1 day, so we send that text, 1 day goes by, we get no reply, we're just going to say contact first name, question mark, question mark. So Mason, question mark, question mark. That's going to wait 1 day as well. If they do reply, same thing happens. You guys will get notified. If they don't, they're going to time out. And after 1 day, we're going to send SMS 3, which is let me know first name. These properties probably won't be on market much longer, and I want to make sure you're in the know. We wait 6 seconds. Also, ... Wait 12 seconds. The state of Oklahoma has grants offering down payment allowances, free money basically, to be able to get you into that beautiful new home you're searching for. Wait 6 seconds. 3.3. So wait 6 seconds. Would you like more info on that? Question mark, question mark. Now we can basically select SMS 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3. And if they reply to any of those, you guys will also get notified. If they don't reply to any of those, they're basically going to get taken out of the automation. So the automation ends. We can make it longer if we want. Realistically, if they don't reply to any of that stuff within 2 days, it's like, what are they really going to kind of reply to? You can make it really as long as you want. These are already people you guys are tagging as dead live transfer, though. Realistically, you can make it as long as you want. Priscilla or Brian, if you guys want to go in there and keep adding to it, or if you guys ever say, hey, can we add something to that one automation that we built out not that long ago, we can come in and do it. Other than that, I think that's good. Let me just double check that that's wait SMS 2.0. Perfect. And then I think what I could do is put you guys in the automation, and it should fire and kind of show you what this will look like in real time, at least on your phone. So let's go ahead and do dead live transfer, reactivate settings, allow reentry. What's the best number for you, Brian? This is one of those moments where I have to remember Priscilla's name, if it's the S or the C that comes first. C.
I have the same problem, and I've been with her for 3 years, and I type real fast. I go, oh, well, why can't I get it?
Yeah, PRI. Let me see. I'm like, perfect. Save. Now, when you guys get the text messages, because you guys don't have any live transfer information on you guys, of course, it's not going to pop up. You guys will get a fundamental idea what the text should come across as. So we'll come in here and do automation, live transfer, reactivate. Okay. Now if we go to automations, it should be waiting for business hours. So it's not going to go through, but I should be able to push it through manually.
Now, Mason, kind of to, again, help everybody on our side with chase, right? Someone says yes or absolutely. I think Priscilla also had this question about, one of the things is let us get in touch with your lender. Let us get you in touch with our lender to get you pre-approved, and then we never get they never call or they never touch base with the lender. Would once they say yes or absolutely, would it be then to also put an automation of, hey, there's a lot to this? Could we schedule a time for you to connect with our lender? And if they say yes, then we could say, okay, our lender's going to reach out to tell you about this wonderful program. I'm also going to call you and talk to you about some of the great things that I see out there. Something like that. Not as wordy as I put it, but
yeah, 100%. Are you thinking I want to follow up with them if they go ghost on our lender, or I want to have, do you book them in for an appointment with your lender, or is it just a, hey, they'll call you whenever they can?
We haven't in the past. I mean, you made a great suggestion of doing a three-way, which we can do. Sometimes we'll get that lender, sometimes we will. Rob in the past has been really good about me sending him a lead. Hey, just talk to this lead. Need to get them a pre-approved. This is what they're hoping to get. And he'll respond fairly quick and say, hey, I'll call them right away. He does a great job of texting first instead of chasing and then scheduling a time. So terrific that you're interested or something terrific. Is there a window of time or window during the day that my lender could reach out to you and explain the program? And then maybe I could send it to the lender could have, and instead of me saying 10 o'clock, how about 10 o'clock tomorrow? Then I call the lender goes, oh, I've got a meeting at 10. Can we do 11? So, hey, between 10 and 12, would that be a good time to give you a call and give you all the great details about the program? Then we could throw it to the lender and go, hey, could you call this lead between 10 and 12 tomorrow about down payment assistance, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, absolutely. We can honestly get as, we can get kind of as like nitty gritty about it, or as, least nitty gritty about it as you want, which by the way, I'm pushing the automation here so you guys can see what it would look like. Yeah, you can see what it just would look like firsthand. It's just going to have that right there. And then it'll follow up next day with, or just make sure that the automation isn't. 1 second, actually, Brian. Yeah, we can definitely do something like that. What would honestly be great is if you could just have your lender almost just like share his calendar availability, and you could like book him in 15-minute phone calls. And then what we could do is we can even confirm with the leads. We can say, hey, your phone call consultation about down payment assistance has been booked for date at time. And then we can even remind them up to like a week. So, hey, your down payment assistance called in 1 week at this time. Hey, it's in 2 days. Hey, it's in 24 hours. This is what you need to know to prepare. Hey, it's coming up in 3 hours. It's coming up in 1 hour, 15 minutes. Hey, I'm just finishing something up. Going to give you a call in 15 minutes. And then as long as he follows his calendar and rings them at that time, that would be good. If you aren't going to have access to his calendar, or you don't really have a way to book anything in onto his calendar, which personally, if I was him, I would probably have a calendar set up for phone call consultations that I give anybody that can book a phone call consultation with me. But if he doesn't have that, yeah, we could definitely do something in the sense, do you know what system he uses for his CRM? Because really, it would almost be better to probably just build it out inside of his system. If you get a Brian lead in the door in his system, if you get the lead from you, and then you'd want to set the follow-ups on his end almost, because it'd be kind of difficult to do on your side of things, if that makes sense.
Yes. Let me check. I know Rob uses GoHighLevel, and we somehow connected him, but let me check with Brandy as well. That again, I'm trying to see if she can help fund some of our additional. I've asked Rob a couple of times, so I think I've given him the chance, and he's kind of a broker, so he's a one-man band. Brandy works for Bank of Oklahoma, or I think it's BOK is what it's, and probably has a
Yeah. That's a tricky one because
so I'll do that homework and ask her, does she have Calendly or something that, we could schedule those on her calendar.
what you could even do, honestly, which would make it the most possible, is we could even make them a calendar and GoHighLevel and give them full access to it. So if they don't have Calendly or something, what would make the most sense is we literally have a calendars tab where we can create a new calendar specifically for your lender. And let's say like Rob, I think he's in the CRM, right? Or is that not?
Yes, he
Okay.
is.
Yeah, so like let's say Rob here, for example, what we can do is under calendar configuration, we can assign him to a specific calendar. And so he would have his own calendar. And then what you could do is book all your leads would be directly integrated in your database. So you can book them into the calendar. Like for example, if we come to a contact here, Claire, up here at the top right, there's an appointment thing, add. Basically, all you would do is like grab his calendar name and it would be fully integrated in your system. And only if we book them into a GoHighLevel calendar would you be able to do the follow-up and automation stuff, because unfortunately, it has to be triggered by a trigger that is called this right here. So the automation has to be triggered by appointment, a customer booked appointment, or appointment status is confirmed, or you can even do canceled, which this would be amazing if you don't already have, like, do you do a lot of virtual consultations or a lot more in-person stuff?
It's more in person when I'm there.
Okay, no worries. If you do anything virtual, you could have a virtual calendar too, which you might already have, but we can set it up in HighLevel where you literally confirm with them, hey, your appointment's been booked at this time. It's going to be over Zoom. Here's the link. And then you can even send them like, you know, information in the meantime. Here's my business card, just so you know what I've done while you prep for our call. Oh, by the way, our call is in an hour. Are you still good? Name, stuff like that, just to make sure, like, if you have a slot blocked off on your calendar or one day, you know, they're fully reminded. For example, we're reworking our entire front end sales process for the company right now. We're basically our flow right now is we're doing cold email, so cold emailing out to agents, hey, get you more business. As soon as they come through the system, we have as an interested lead, like let's say they just say, yeah, send me more details over email. They're going to get automatically pulled into our system, and we're going to have like an SDR or a virtual assistant instantly call those leads as soon as they come in, have like a good 10 to 15 minute setter conversation with them, book them on my calendar and our other sales reps calendar. And then basically instantly they'll get a confirmation text saying, hey, your appointment's been confirmed. It was a pleasure chatting with you, with the caller name. And then on that call, the caller's main goal is to, you know, figure out what this agent's having struggles with, to see if we can actually even help them. You know, what's the main bottlenecks within their business right now? And then when I follow up, I'll be like, hey, we're going to solve this problem, and this problem. And it's going to be problems that they listed on that initial call, could have been a week back, with the SDR over a 15-minute phone call. And so it's like almost like tailored to specifically them, that appointment that's coming up. And so it's like worst case scenario, ideally even if it's not a good fit, because, you know, we are picky with who we partner with, then we can at least help you figure out how to solve these problems, XYZ. And it's like, oh, okay, worst case scenario, I can get some clarity on my problems. And so follow up and building value before those consultations can be huge. If you're doing a lot of in-person stuff, it's not as effective, because I mean, you can say, hey, we're meeting at, you know, this place. If it's mainly listing stuff, you have their address. So excited to meet at your place. Just so you know, here's a little background on me, my business card, just so you know who's actually coming to your house, things like But yeah, if you want to set any of that up, we definitely we just wanted to let you know we do have the power to do that inside of HighLevel. But the thing is the calendar has to be hosted in HighLevel because GoHighLevel will know what time the appointment is actually booked for. It'll also be able to automatically detect if they cancel or reschedule or no show and stuff like that.
Gotcha. I was
Yeah.
noticing on the thing. So the first thing that we send, hey, Brian Jameson, partner, or hey, partner. Instead of that text first, would it be? Oh no, never mind. I read it now and it all makes sense.
Yeah, it makes
It's pretty
pretty good
cool.
sense. Yeah, it flows fairly well. We'll see we'll see the responses that we get back from them. If you guys just want to test it instead of going and blasting through like all of them at once, if you guys just want to test it with like 10 at first and then be like, okay, based off these 10 we test it with, what can we tweak to make sure the next ones we do it with or it's really fully optimized? If you don't want to burn the contacts and it's all of them at once, we can do that too. And just look for the responses that we're getting. I really like this first text message because it's really just a value first approach. It's, hey, we talked. This is what you're looking for. Is this still true? Because I can send you some properties. Like from their shoes, it's literally like
What do you have to lose?
they simply just want to send me properties that they have. And so yeah, nothing to lose. Simple bump text, Mason question mark question mark. Let me know, Mason. These properties probably won't be on market much longer, and I want to make sure you're in the know. Also, the state of Oklahoma has grants offering down payment allowances, free money basically to be able to get you into that beautiful new home you're searching for. Would you like more info on that? And yeah, I think realistically, we'll see kind of the responses we get from that. And then yeah, if you guys need to set anything up or want to set anything up on the lender side, let me know. Let's think about it a little bit more in depth in the sense of, do we want to set up an automation where, I mean, honestly, you can even set up an automation to remind your lender to follow up if you wanted to, or is it going to be more so reminding you guys to follow up with the lead? We can do that too. We can remind you guys to follow up with the leads with like the tasking system and remind you guys when like tasks are due. And then the other one is we can basically follow up with the lead if the lender says this person's ghosted or I haven't been able to get in touch with them. We could create a specific automation to try to reactivate those people. You can have like a lead reactivation funnel. So someone who's just a cold lead, that's going to be the one you send thousands through, the people that come in through Facebook that never live transfer, stuff like that. You have like a lead reactivate funnel. You can have like a live transfer reactivate funnel. You can have like a lender reactivate funnel. You can have all different funnels depending on what kind of stage of the pipeline that they're in, because those are going to be honestly all kind of different conversations and different value points. For example, to offer a brand new lead something, it typically needs to be more surface level, like a homes list or a home evaluation, something that really just like makes sense to the masses to get them in. Usually live transfers, it needs to be a bit more specific and kind of tailored to them based off the information they've given us and offer more tailored to them. Then once they get to the lender, really the biggest thing I can imagine is trying to figure out where their hesitancy is at in some way or another without straight up asking, what's your hesitancy? Because if they're that far down the funnel, I mean, they want to do something. Like if they're, you know, essentially saying that they're going to speak to a lender, this, and that, it's in the back of their mind that they want to buy or sell. It's just a matter of what's holding it back. Is it almost kind of a way to get that problem out of them without making it seem like you're trying to use it against them? On our SDR call, we ask, and honestly, most of the agents that come to us, they're either dealing with like a lead generation problem, so there's not enough leads in the door. They have plenty of leads, or number two, they have plenty of leads, but it's just like a lead quality issue. They're spending too much time trying to convert these people. It's just not worth their time. Or three, they have plenty of leads, the quality is good, but they just do not have the time or the system to nurture and follow up with them all. Out of those three, what would you say is the most pressing on your plate? So you could even take a frame like that, which is like, yeah, no worries. And like, by the way, a lot of the buyers and sellers we have that typically have a bit of hesitancy moving forward in this stage, it's usually not understanding the process, just being uneducated in what you're actually getting into. Maybe having, some life situation going on, which, by the way, completely cool. We all have life stuff going on. I want to make sure I'm in the know so I can best help you to the best of my ability and make sure I'm not pushing you around and stuff. Or 3, you can have something else. And if you don't mind sharing, Mr. Prospect, I guess what would you say is kind of like the most pressing on your plate right now? Now that's a lot easier to do over like the phone or over a Zoom. In person, you don't want to have that dynamic. That's just kind of weird. But over the phone or over Zoom, you could also ask that just to figure out what's that hesitancy of actually moving forward with a lender. Because I mean, it doesn't really take anything to move forward with a lender, right? Like all only thing that they would be worried about is it pulls the credit, right? It's a hard pull.
Yep. Which all of them say it's a soft pull initially to see what I'm dealing with, right? So I think and I know that it looks like you got another one coming up. I think maybe like we send something like, hey, here's the top 3 challenges that people are afraid of or hesitant on buying a house. Number 1, first and foremost, to get pre-approved. That's going to make sure that you don't waste your time, you don't waste my time, and I don't know how to say that, in specifically looking at what our budget is. But then, here's some of the hesitancies that we see day in and day out and can solve anytime. Be worried about it hurting your credit. And, just kind of like 3 or 4 like quick ones to where they go, yeah, that, I am worried about that. Or, yeah, I look at all these houses and I get confused and then I get mad because I can't afford what I want to afford.
Yeah, so, that question would be a killer over the phones. Like that would be so good. And you can even send it as a text also and just say reply A, B, C, or D, and I'll send information on that exact topic to just bring you some clarity. You could even kind of run like a text like that.
Yeah, you pop those 4 or 5 on a text and just go, which one are you concerned about? And then like you said, then you call and go, I got the answer.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, you can even say sweet. Would you be able to set it like if they respond to that text, you can call right away, and if they don't answer, even just zap a text back. It's like, hey, tried to call. Would you have 5 minutes to chat about this so I can give you more clarity on it over just a 5-10 minute phone call? If they're like, they'll be like yes, or they'll be like no, I'd prefer text. Which at the end of the day, cool, I can still explain it over text, send you some assets. Yeah, that's good. I think in the meantime, if you kind of want to just continue brainstorming on that, and then if you just let us know what to execute, we can go in there and build an automation out for it. We can have like I know you guys already have like a dead lead tag. We can have like a mass lead or a dead lead reactivate tag or something so that you guys know, just like we have the dead live transfer. We can have dead lead tag, dead live transfer tag, and like dead lender tag or something. And then those will all be tailored to the part of the sales process that lead is in. And then we can whip up something like that, like you said. Hey, you're super far into your journey. We know you're looking for this, this, and this. Seems you're just held up at kind of the lending part. Typically, when I see this, it's usually A, B, C, D. And then you can kind of hit them with that and get a lot more clarity on their problem, which allows you to help them and try to persevere past that so you can help them. Also, so yeah, I think that sounds good. Yeah, I gotta run to the next call here, but if you guys need anything in the meantime, just let me know. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. If you need anything in the meantime, just ping me. Do a little more thought kind of on that, Brian, on what you think, how we could execute on that, and then just let me know, and then we can build that automation out. We can even set aside another work block if we need to, if you want it to be specific to what you're looking for, and you don't just want us to kind of freestyle it.
Awesome. Appreciate you. Thank you, Priscilla, for being on a Saturday.
Thank you. No problem.
All right. You guys are the best. You're the best, Priscilla. I'll see you. Have a good